So what's up everyone? Welcome back to your channel, Right Life Institute. I am Alicia. I want to talk to you today about this new scare that people have been talking about recently. This pneumonia that is happening in China and are affecting thousands and thousands of young children. The media and the doctors and the scientists are telling us to not be concerned about it. But how can we not be concerned when a few years ago, in 2019, a similar situation in a similar period happened in China, and that situation spread and affected the whole world. Thousands of people lost their life and economy have plunged. Some people have lost all the businesses, and we had to deal with a crazy situation with vaccination, a repeat booster with the COVID-19. We so would like to believe that this is normal, but where I think doesn't seem to be right is the number is not adding up. The number of young children getting sick are enormous and scary. Many of the hospitals in China are getting full up to the capacity by young children. I mean, we need to start to think a bit. When something doesn't look right, it may be because it's not right. The flu and all those issues, even the COVID-19. It's been going on for some time, and we haven't seen hospital getting packed up by young children. And now this situation have crossed border with the Netherlands, and now it's showing in some city in the United States like Ontario. China is saying that there is no new virus, that all is okay and come in and you're welcome to travel here, either we give you visa free. That's great, but we need to not go to a stage that over the media, the government, China and the rest are telling us to not listening to our own alert when something doesn't look right. Looking at the explanation of China, that this is their first winter where they came out of this hard lockdown. It was a crazy mission they had to eradicate totally the virus and to even lock people inside their home. After many protests, China had to abandon this crazy mission that they had. Other people had enough of it, and some people were burned alive inside the building because they could not leave the building when there were fire. China explanation is this is normal. Those young kids, their defense are quite weak. They have not been exposed to some virus that were out there, and now they are getting exposed. Myself, for several weeks now, to not say month, each time that I go out, I find myself coughing and not feeling well, and I need to take few days before I get better. Many of us during the COVID-19 crisis were told to stay at home, avoid crowd, and also work from home. This working from home still continue even today in 2023. In my profession, many of us are working from home. I also am an extrovert. I don't go out much, so it can explain that every time that I go out, I get a bit sick. But despite all of that, I really think that the number of infected young kids are too high. And why are we getting even cities that did not have a hard lockdown that are now showing the same issue with their young children? I can just only imagine the worry and the fear that certain parents are going through right now. It must be really terrible to be worried about your child getting sick, and we still are not 100% sure what this is about. The WHO have asked more clarification from China, but for the moment we still don't know what's going on. So let's hope that we are not going through again another pandemic, as this will be terrible. But we cannot really deny, some of us, that we are concerned when we see in hospital get it filled up, that it can be young children or adult. It is an unusual scene to experience, and yes, the only time that we have experienced this in our time is during the COVID-19. This is the video I wanted to share with you today in this channel. I cannot talk too much about this, as YouTube remove and even close down channel that talk about this kind of concern. So we are forced to keep it, short, and not to assume or say anything. But I think it's important to remind people to trust your instinct. We were told too many times that this and that was what we was. It can be about war or other things. Even regarding the COVID-19, we were all put nearly in a forced lockdown. Some of us were told that we will lose our job, etc. And then suddenly, after the Canadians protested together, they were united, the COVID-19 disappeared, and the next day we had the issue with Ukraine. So for some reason, there's some kind of gain of some people out there to maintain the population in fear. Fear gives you control, and we need to keep our sanity. I don't think it looks right at all to have so many kids or even adults sick at once, to the point that the hospital cannot function. I will stay here about this, and we will see how things progress. If things are progressing, we unfortunately cannot talk about it in this channel. As I mentioned, there is restriction on freedom of speech and what we can talk about on YouTube and other social media. I thank you today to have watched your channel with me, Alicia, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.